Blues to Do TV with Marley Walker. Tonight, we feature two segments. First, Roy Rogers footage from
All right, we are here live at the Drum School, Seattle Drum School and Music School, actually. It's both. And that music sounded great. Lisa K. Dieter, thank you again for putting that together for our TV show years ago. Decades ago now. It is Sunday afternoon, the Blues to Do live stream here at the Seattle Drum School. It's part of the lab. The lab is the little auditorium in the back. And it's a beautiful space, and I want to thank both KZ and Chandler for helping me get set up and get my groove on. I'm back. Got my groove back. Marley got her groove back. So, yeah, we're working up to doing some live performance stuff here. My Cadillac parts are on the wall. They've been signed by many blues musicians, so come down and see us on a Sunday at 1 o'clock. The game is over. I'm not sure who won because I wasn't watching. I was paying attention to the radio on the way here, but, yeah, it was a close game. We'll see what happened. Anyway, we are open for business here at the Seattle Drum School, 1010 South Bailey in Seattle's Georgetown. And if you'd like to play here, we're open for business for birthdays. You can rent this space for a live concert if you want to do one. Rehearsals, recitals, new release parties, baby showers, you name it. We've got free coffee and treats on Sundays. Today I didn't get it done, but that's okay. We're going to talk about Alice pretty much the entire show. Alice Stuart is her name. She passed away in August, and she was an icon in the music business, period. She came to Seattle from Chelan, Washington. She grew up in Chelan, so we'll get to that. I thank you for putting images up. We're working on this. Okay, so we'll talk about Alice all day today during the show. I was going to have Annette Taborn here as my guest. She will be performing today at McMinamen's in Tacoma. It's the old Elks building, and they made it McMinamen's, and of course part of that is the Spanish Ballroom. Historic names here in Tacoma, in the Tacoma area. And so we'll be heading to Tacoma later this afternoon for Alice Stewart's celebration of life. And Annette Taborn is going to be there performing with Nick Vigorino. She was going to be on my show, but had a little car trouble, missed her flight, I guess, and then had to get in a car and get on up here. So we'll get her on in a future show and talk about blues in schools, which she has been a big part of and did some with Alice. She and Al Rowe and Alice Stewart did a really cool program for an entire month. Thanks to Barbara Hammerman and the peeps there. So anyway, we'll talk about Alice. Let's get to that show plan. I'm going to try and stick to the show plan, okay? Paul gave me a hard time about that. Yeah. Okay. We did the theme song. Oh, let's do our bathroom review of the week. I was at the Sea Monster. Steve Smith, our owner, was playing drums, and so I had to go check him out, and I love the Sea Monster. They got some new owners over the pandemic, and it's still a beautiful space. The painting on the walls from previous owners, awesome stuff. So we'll show a video of the bathroom. I don't review dirty bathrooms, okay? Just clean ones, just good bathrooms, nice bathrooms. So this is a great bathroom. Marley Walker, you don't want to be on my list, so it's a bathroom review of the week. Thanks for playing the video, Chandler. Go ahead. See? Oh, lovely art. It's a lovely bathroom. They have paintings, and it's clean, and it smells good, and yeah, look, there's a toilet. All right, not too many toilets, just a little bit, and it has to be clean, or I'm not putting it on TV. All right, so thank you very much. That was a little bit of a challenge last week. We got it done this week. Thanks, Chandler. And I'll do that on a regular basis. I'm looking forward to reviewing the bathrooms at the McMinamen's because they've got 3 of them and they've remodeled them. They're just totally cool. You're going to spend time in the bathroom just to look at the walls. So I'll do some cool bathroom reviews later on today. I'll record those and bring them to the show. Okay, reason of the week for the blues has got to be Palestine and Israel. What the heck is going on? It's hard to even watch the news. It's heartbreaking. And the only choice in life that you have is how you react to whatever happens. So please choose wisely, people. It's an opportunity for peace, although peace and resolution doesn't sound like they're even close. So just start talking. That's all my 2 cents is. Please just start talking. And look at history. There's a lot of history there to not just start here. Okay. So contact your senators and representatives. I know there's an image for that. Oh, there we go. I'm not just going to whine about the blues. I'm going to tell you to do something about it. And that's always a great selection of something to do. So call your senators. Get your representatives' phone numbers on quick dial as well. It's a democracy, but it'll be broken if you don't use it. All right. I do want to thank again the Seattle Drum School for giving us a space to do this. It's a half an hour. We'll try and expand it in the future. But so getting into it, Alice Stuart was the first woman to lead an electric band, her own electric band. That fact has not been disputed. I actually was her girlfriend for a little while, a couple years in there. And so I have some stories I'm not going to tell. But there's a few that I can tell. And she was a wonderful human being, a great guitar player, an icon, a guitar player among guitar players. And so her celebration of life is tonight, starting about 3 o'clock at the Spanish Ballroom, McMinamen's in Tacoma, the old Elks building. And it'll bring players and people out of their couches to celebrate her. She was a great guitar player, as I said, among guitar players. She was acoustic and electric, both. Like a true Gemini, she couldn't make up her mind. Unique vocalist among vocalists. Really, that's what got her signed to our Hooli Records. A songwriter and instructor with a unique perspective to share, and a band leader. Robert Cray was a man she looked up to. She actually had her bass player in her group Snake was Carl Severide, and that became Robert Cray's bass player. So, they shared a lot musically. She loved his playing and songwriting. So you never know. He's from Tacoma. He just might show up. You never know. I know, I'm planting rumors, aren't I? She was a mom, a grandma, and a great-grandma, and everyone who can still move will be out to celebrate this woman's life. She paved the road that Bonnie Raitt traveled. That's a pretty big statement. That came from Taj Mahal. I actually got that statement. I was backstage at Jazz Alley saying, what about Alice? And that's what he had to say about Alice Stuart. She was influenced and was friends with Mississippi John Hurt. She actually roomed with him for a little while and toured with him. She also was influenced by Bob Dylan when he did the acoustic to the electric thing. I know we got some images. Go ahead and throw an image up there, Chandler. There she is when she was young. This is like the Palmier House era here in Seattle. She was in the U District. That was a beatnik place back in the day, in the 60s. I was just a little girl. But she was quite the character, and there's a few images. Keep showing those. I think, these first batches are when she was about 19. And that guitar was still her Martin guitar. She had that her whole life and had her name inlaid on the neck of it as well. So back to her story. She was an icon among women in the music business as well. She was a character, true blue. Born and raised by her mom and then her Aunt Alice, her namesake, in Chelan, Washington, so a Washington State native. She played on the Hootenanny Show in Seattle in the early 60s, back over when they did the World's Fair. They had the Hootenanny TV show, and she was one of the performers there regularly. She recorded, let's get another image up there. They're part of the Peter Bleck collection. This one is from our Hooli Records. They took this shot. That was her debut record, All the Good Times. That record label, if you know, has got like Lightnin' Hopkins on it and all these hella huge names in blues, acoustic blues. And sure enough, Chris Drakowitz found Alice and thought, what a unique voice. And look, she can play. So he recorded Alice on that first record when I think she was 19 years old. She did a lot of stuff first. She was the first at a lot of things. There she is with Mississippi John Hurt. There she is playing that Martin. And again, a photo, part of that Peter Bleck collection. And he did a great write-up on her if you want to check it out online. Really historical perspective, did everything a few years ago, so it wasn't just recently. It was really, really well done. So she recorded the theme for the movie Fritz the Cat at one point. It was the first X-rated animation. She was the first in lots of things. It cost about $850,000 to make, and it made like $90 million. She never got paid. Doggone it. Still waiting for that check. She recorded with Tower of Power. The horn section recorded with her. She appeared on the Dick Cavett Show with her group Snake. That's right. I think we got it. There we go. That's her group Snake, Carl Severide and Bob Jones. And look at her with that afro, looking good. She loves soul music. She found that on her AM radio in Chelan when it was skipping from like Las Vegas somewhere. She found it and went, oh, I like that. What's that? I want to play some of that. She appeared, as I said, on the Dick Cavett Show with her band. She got a loan from, later it became a gift, from John Fogerty. Creedence Clearwater, and they shared the label, Fantasy Records, and she and Snake, her group, were going to tour Europe, and they were going to open for Van Morrison, but they needed this deposit, which is unheard of. It was like, what? They wanted $5,000, so she had to borrow it from John Fogerty, which later he just gave it to her. So stories are deep with Alice Stuart. She sat in with or played with John Prine, the Chambers Brothers, Elvin Bishop, Commander Cody, Ramblin' Jack Elliott, as you can see, covered the spectrum. Michael Bloomfield, Albert King, which I was sitting at breakfast one day, we were having coffee, and she said, yeah, I played with Albert King. I said, what? That's not in your bio. So I quickly ran over to the computer and put that in her bio. He said about her, honey, you play pretty good guitar. And that was a pretty major quote coming from Albert King. 1974, Guitar Player did a feature on her. Melody Maker did a write-up, as did Rolling Stone numerous times. She was on the cover of Flat Picking magazine in 2008. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Let's throw another picture up there. Oh, yeah. There she is with the group Snake on this Full-Time Woman record, kissing Jesse, her son, on that motorcycle. She was just a full-time woman all the way. She was a mom and playing music and riding a motorcycle? I don't know if she ever did that. Not much, anyway. So, yeah, she was mentioned in a Hunter S. Thompson book. Yeah, go figure. You got to read up on Peter Blecka to get some of that. I discovered Crazy with the Blues, that album. She did with Marianne Rooney, also known as Prune Rooney. Saw them up in Port Townsend at the Country Blues Festival in the workshops where she also taught. She showed up there numerous times to teach. Eventually moved from Grass Valley, and we moved in together in West Seattle, and then she later moved near family, closer to family in Olympia and Tumwater. She recorded Can't Find No Heaven. I think that's one of the images we have in there as well. And that record, she included, there she is from that record. She included Paul DeLay on a track, the great harmonica player out of Portland. And that record got her both a Grammy nomination and a Handy nomination. Big feather in her cap for that. Yeah. What else images we got? The Palmier House was big in 1962. So, yeah, that's Seattle history. Great Seattle history. The photo we have, okay, there's from Can't Find No Heaven. Yeah, I was around during that recording. And Dallas Williams and Bill Sheldon are in the photo from the Palmier House. And then, the Mississippi John Hurt shot was Barry Olivier, Northwestern University Library's special collection. And the Arhoolie Records shot as well. I mentioned the Full-Time Woman Fantasy Records cover art. Oh, yeah, that's her current band, the formerly Steve Flynn, and she went through a couple drummers, but she was picky. She wanted she wanted the beat to be right, and we know at the drum school you don't start a band unless you have a good drummer. That's where you start a good band. So, yeah, Snake, Peter Blecka collection for those photographs. Carl later went to play with Robert Cray, so an excellent, excellent bass player. She loved him. And then Jeff Bizzell did the photographs for Can't Find No Heaven. So just giving some shout-outs to those photographers. Also wanted to mention a few more things about Alice. Let's see. Oh, yeah, her band, the Formerlies, recorded Freedom and Live at the Triple Door. Yeah, there's Freedom. I love that one. She had a collection of Converse, too. One of the photographs, the Times did an article about her, Seattle Times, and they had a whole shot of just her tennis shoes, just her Converse, and there were so many pair. So yeah, she received the Best Band Award from the Washington Blues Society and also the Best Songwriter Award from the Washington Blues Society, and later they inducted her into the Hall of Fame. Finally, she was awarded Seattle's Best Guitarist from the Seattle Weekly in 2005. That was a pretty big feather in her hat as well. So yeah, there's the Live at the Triple Door shot with some more Converse. Quite the character. So we're looking forward to the event this afternoon, starting about 3:00. And yes, the lineup includes the Jerry Miller Band, Lee Oscar, Annette Taborn, as I said, with Nick Vigorino. Baby Gramps is going to be there. Her band, the Formerlies. Joel Tepp, great guitar player, clarinetist, everything. He plays everything. Kim Field is in from wherever he's staying these days, New York. They're going to play some harmonica for us. Annika Forrest Peterson, and lots of friends. She had a lot of friends she played with. This is going to bring some players out, like I said, players out of the woodwork. So we're going to do our Blues to Do calendar, and then I can't play any of her music because it is copywritten, and if we do this, YouTube will say, sorry, no copywritten material. So you got to check her out. Go look at her website. Go Google her. You know how to Google her, or DuckDuckGo, or however you search. You go ahead. You go, girl. And understand that she was an icon. She was a leader. She busted through some glass ceilings, and we owe her a tip of the hat. Gratitude for that. Oh, speaking of hats, let me take that one off. I got a new hat this week from Jazz Alley. I was there seeing John Cleary and his absolute monster gentleman celebrating the 43rd anniversary of Jazz Alley, and they gave me a new hat. So I thought I'd sport that today. And that starts our Blues to Do calendar because John Cleary is playing another night at Jazz Alley tonight. So once again, we want to thank the Seattle Drum School for giving us a space to do this. You can get guitar lessons here, piano lessons here, voice lessons here, not just drum lessons. It is a music school. That's why I'm so comfortable here, because my mom ran a music school. So all kinds of lessons. It is real music for real people and real stories. Oh, I got a few more Alice stories I might tell you. Next week, we're going to have C.T. Thompson here. He's got some stories. He is from the Deep South, and he moved up here, and he sings the blues and R&B. Really great performer. Just the sweetest man. So we're going to have him live here next week. Please tune in for that. And thank you for tuning in after the game. I appreciate you finding your way. You could tune in. You could watch just about anything on the internet, but I appreciate you showing up here. Okay, so shall we do the calendar? Is it time? Okay, we'll do a chunk of calendar, and then we'll let you go. Tuesday through Sunday. I thought it was every night of the week, but I guess it's Tuesday through Sunday these days. At Sea Monster, there is some kind of live music, and there are always great players, the best in Seattle, doing their thing, jazz, funk, and anything. The new owners came in 2021, but some of them have already worked there for years. So yeah, we're giving a shout out to the Sea Monster. That was our bathroom review of the week. Thank you very much. By the way, this calendar I post every week on my Instagram page, which I just started. So yeah, you can follow that if you'd like to get this in printed form. I don't have to print it anymore and mail it to you. I can just put it on the internet. I'm learning. Okay, every Sunday at the Royal Esquire Club, where we also did a bathroom review previously, in Columbia City. A real band backs you up every Sunday, about 7, 8 o'clock-ish. C.T. Thompson actually will be hosting tonight, and that is every Sunday. They have various hosts. Every Wednesday at Tim's Tavern in White Center, there's an open mic, 6:30 p.m. sign-up. I was there this week for a meeting, and they had Evan Flory Barnes and Jimmy James doing a duo. Incredible talent. So just want to give a shout-out to Tim's Tavern. They moved to White Center from North Seattle. Tim's means together in music. There is no Tim, apparently. This is new to me. I didn't realize that. Okay, every Thursday you can check out the Burien Farmers Market through the end of October. Noon to 3, it's the Two Scoops combo. He's going to host a jam here. We're talking about it. We're getting all the details, but on Sunday afternoons, we're going to get Two Scoops down here to host a jam session. So mark your calendars. Also, every Thursday at the Flight Path in Boulevard Park, about 8 to 11-ish, and depending on how happening it is. Herman Brown, John Stoudemire, Curtis Seals. depending on whether they're available or not, if they're touring or doing other things, then they just get some of their all-stars in there. But incredible band. Again, one song apiece. It's open for you and me. We can do this. Yeah, they're very supportive, very encouraging. Even me. If I can't fill the entire half an hour talking about Alice, I'm going to pick up that ukulele, which actually she started on ukulele. I just learned that. I thought she always played guitar. She learned all those Burl Ives songs, but she actually started with the ukulele. So, and I've been playing that lately. I know all 3 chords. All right, the Seattle Drum School is where we're at every Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Today it was all about Alice, and the celebration of life, as I mentioned, is in Tacoma at the Spanish Ballroom, which is now part of McMinamen's, the old Elks. It's just a beautiful old building, and instead of tearing it down, they decided to fix it up. I like the sound of that. So they'll have a full lineup. Annette Taborn, who was going to be my guest, but couldn't do it, so I just figured I'd talk about Alice. She'll be playing with Nick Vigorino, doing a couple songs they worked up. The Jerry Miller Band, Lee Oscar, Baby Gramps. He's amazing. Still performing, and they were buddies. The former Lees, Joel Tepp, Kim Field, Annika Forrest Peterson. Lots of friends. She had lots of friends in the music business. And we're going to realize who we lost. I think it'll take a little while, but she was an icon among a player's player. You know, all the players loved her. So anyway, real music, real people, real stories right here on the Blues to Do streaming TV show every Sunday afternoon about 1 o'clock at the Seattle Drum School. It's the little auditorium in the back, the lab, at 1010 South Bailey. Okay, getting back to that Blues to Do calendar. Tonight, as I mentioned, John Cleary and his absolute monster gentleman. I totally enjoyed the show. We went Thursday night, and 4 guys sounded like 8. A drummer who could sing, a bass player who could sing, and then John, of course, plays keyboards and guitar, and he could sing, and then they had this incredible percussion player. Just amazing 4-piece. I'm still kind of pinching myself. That was only 4 people? So yeah, one more night, 2 sets tonight. John Cleary at Demetrius Jazz Alley, celebrating their 43rd year. Like my hat? Okay, and then the Spar Beer Parlor in Tacoma tonight has the Tim Turner Band starting at 7 o'clock, right down the street from the Spanish Ballroom if you want to kick it between a couple of venues. And we'll start there at 3 o'clock at the Spanish Ballroom, go till about 10. Demetrius Jazz Alley has Shamika Copeland this week. I think we got an image of her as well. The 17th, and there she is, the 17th and 18th. 2 nights, she can belt it out. If you want to see somebody wail, go see some Shamika. Other stuff coming up in the Blues to Do calendar, and I'll just briefly go through. Spar Beer Parlor has the Farrell Hudson and Friends Band at 6 p.m. on the 18th. Aurora Borealis has Portage Bay Big Band, and they're always fun. This is a swinging band. 7:30 on the 18th. It's a harmonica summit in Lafayette, Louisiana, the 18th through the 22nd of October. It's hurricane season. You might as well call it Blown Away on the Bayou. Yeah, you got to have some fun in the midst of all that wind. The 19th, look for the OJs at the Paramount Theater in Seattle. And the 19th through the 31st, it's Halloween month at the Triple Door. They do burlesque better than anybody. And burlesque actually started in Seattle. Did you know that? I was thrilled to discover that. Anyway, this is Halloween, they call it. A dark fantasy burlesque musical. Okay. All right. They do burlesque better than anybody at the Triple Door. That, again, shows the 19th through the 31st. And then we do Day of the Dead, right? Okay, October 22nd, look for Michelle D'Amour and the Love Dealers at the Spar Beer Parlor. They have a Sunday night series there. My buddy Ted Brown started that, the late Ted Brown. And the Triple Door has more music. How Now, Brown Cow. Going to be doing their thing on the 25th. I think they start those musicarium shows about 5 o'clock. It's kind of nice happy hour rather than getting traffic. The Northwest Harmonica player Kim Field has put together a harmonica show with Joe Falisco, and they're both great players. They added Andrew Ali, who I saw up in Port Townsend this summer. Excellent players. Ross Garrett will also be there at the Minutia Center in Corbett, Oregon. Again, that date, the 26th through the 29th of October. And also toward the end of October, same dates, 26 to 29, at Demetria's Jazz Alley, Kirk Whalum. They have more great music coming there. Average White Band. Taj Mahal's going to come back and do his annual November shows. And later in October, the streets of Kent will be full of families getting free treats on the 28th, 2 to 5 in the afternoon. And when do the clocks go back or forward again? I can't remember. Look for King Combo on the 29th at the Spar Beer Parlor Sunday Night Series. And Grace Love does a couple nights at Demetria's Jazz Alley, 31st and 1st. And Matt Anderson with Adam Baldwin at the Triple Door on the 1st. Matt's a great player. And then look, in early November, the Triple Door has the Dusty 45s, one of my favorite local bands, with Alessandra Rose at 7 p.m. Is that Rose or Rose? Rose. Triple Door on the 3rd of November. And look for the Spinners. It's been a year already. I saw them last year. It was the best show of the year for me. Bunny and I went. We had so much fun. And Lauren Hill is also on that Blues to Do calendar in November, but we'll stop about there. All right. Again, I post this Blues to Do calendar on Instagram. And, do we have more Alice stuff? I think we have a signature, don't we, of Alice. She signed my Cadillac. And the Cadillac parts are down here, by the way, at the Seattle Drum School in the lab at the little auditorium in the back. And if you look at the signature, she that was John Cleary, by the way. Yeah, she signed it in blue. Now, everybody else signed it in silver or in gold. But there she is. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah. Love to Marley, thanks to Love Alice. Is that what it says? Yep, there's a video. Oh, and look at all those other signatures. You did great. Look at that. Chandler, thank you, man. That's so cool. Oh, awesome. I saw Claire's Gatemouth Brown signature. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Alice signed it in blue. The only one who signed it in blue. She was a unique person. Definitely a standout in the music scene. And, yeah, it was wonderful to know her, and it's going to be a great celebration of life. It's going to be a fun party this afternoon, 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock at McMinamen's in Tacoma, and that was my focus of the show. I hope you enjoyed that, talking about Alice the entire hour, telling stories, and I can't play any recordings, but you're going to go check them out. I think my favorite was probably the Can't Find No Heaven, although Crazy with the Blues was really outstanding as well. I played it. It was cardboard CD cover, and I played it till it fell apart. So yeah, going to see some of her family and grandkids and great-grandkids tonight and celebrate her life. She was an incredible person. We'll never see one like her again here in the music scene in Seattle or anywhere for that matter. All right, so living the blues until next week. It is Blues to Do TV. My name is Marley Walker, and it's real music, real people, and real stories. None of this AI stuff, all right? All right, we'll be back next week with another show. Do tune in. C.T. Thompson, who's going to be hosting tonight at the Royal Esquire in Columbia City. So looking forward to hanging out with him, speaking with him. It'll go quickly. He's a great storyteller, so I'll just open up the mic and let him tell stories next week. All right, thanks again to the Seattle Drum School, to Chandler, and to KZ for helping get me started and back on my groove. Come down to the Seattle Drum School. Yeah, get on down here for a recital or a show or some kind of event, a new release party, a baby shower. We're open for business. Or you could take a class. Take a class. Yeah. All right. Take us out. Love you. Talk to you next week. Okay, bye. Bye for now. Cool.
Welcome to Blues to Do